He's back. He's back. Oh, me? No, I mean, I'm always back. But one of my subscribers, I'm grateful. Hey, I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you for subscribing. Seriously, I'm grateful for you. I love you. Let's go camping sometime in Canada. Okay. Shubham Sukdeva is back with a new comment, and I'm sharing with the Brotherhood of the Hair Loss. Here we go. Quote, "Hey Nick, since you started noticing your receding hairline around the age of 19, I want to ask you if you had an oily scalp. I'm age 24 and I've started experiencing receding hairline and hair thinning all over. Prior to this, immediately I experienced alopecia areata autoimmune attack. I've never had an oily scalp. Even my hairstylist asked me if I'd oiled before getting a haircut. It's bothered me very much. I feel little pain, heaviness, and heated in my crown area. Hoping for your input. I'm scared. And if it's male pattern baldness, then what can be done to slow down? Thanks, buddy. Following you for a while." End quote. Hey, seriously, I really like you. Thank you for being here, Shubham, because I have a feeling that there's other guys experiencing this, and I do have a piece of advice that I think actually could help. So let's take a look at this. So yes, I first noticed a receding hairline at age 19, which should always be hope for many of you, because if in April I turned 37, I've first noticed a receding hairline at age 19. I saw it in a picture, and my hair was a bit longer, but the way it was kind of parted, it went up so high, and I thought, that's the first sign of a receding hairline. I'm 19, but I still have all this hair, so there is hope. So don't freak out at the first signs of Norwood 2 or 1.5, even if you're not 20 yet, because look at me, almost 37. All right. So the oily scalp thing, here's what I will say. As a teenager and as someone in my 20s, I always had oily skin. It finally slowed down, but I gotta say this, it didn't slow down until I became a vegan, and that's where this is going, okay? Look, you should eat whatever you want to eat. Whatever you feel in your heart is what you should eat, okay? But what I'm saying is, when I became a vegan nearly 5 years ago, all the oiliness on my skin went away. And this, especially to hear you say that you have an autoimmune situation going on. You know, my understanding, if you have an autoimmune situation, your body is fighting itself, right? Here's how I perceive that. It means that you're consuming food products that your body is fighting as if it were some kind of alien product. Okay? Look, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a professional, but I would highly suggest try experimenting with being a vegan. I think there's a good chance that this would help you, because I think even if you're just consuming dairy, not meat, not eggs, even if you're just consuming dairy, think of it this way, and I'm not trying to be funny, I'm not trying to be gross, okay? Think of this, okay? Achoo, you sneeze, right? Mucus comes out, right? Okay? So there's something called the endocrine system that produces fluids in us, okay? And I'm not trying to be funny, but the endocrine system that produces mucus, it produces other things too, okay? The endocrine system. And at first, like, ooh, that's kind of gross to think about, like the same part of your body that produces, yeah, okay? So with that being said, think about what happens when you're consuming a substance produced from the endocrine system of another species, okay? So think about cows for a moment. Think about cows. In order for them to produce enough milk, what has to constantly happen? They have to constantly be pregnant, which, that's getting in dark right there. Because think about how that has to happen. They're forced to be pregnant all the time. Then we get their milk. Their milk comes from their breasts, which ultimately is a bodily substance produced by the cow. And then you consume it. So think about this. When you have a cold, achoo, your body is trying to expel the foreign stuff in your body, right? Well, guess what happens? I'm gonna eat this cheese. I'm gonna drink this milk. I'm gonna have this ice cream cone. That came from the endocrine system of a foreign species. You're consuming that. There's a good chance your body is fighting that off. That's the irony, that your mucus basically fights off another species' mucus. And if mucus doesn't make you feel good to think about, it only gets worse when you really research exactly what milk is. So what I think is happening, again, I'm so not a professional, but I think this autoimmune thing could possibly be related to you consuming any kind of dairy product. Now granted, yes, I'd say get rid of meat, I'd say get rid of eggs, but first, get rid of dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream, anything that came from a cow, dairy. The white stuff that comes out of a cow. Yeah, and it's gross. Your body's fighting that off. Now, how do I know this? Again, I've been a vegan for nearly 5 years. I know that after 2 decades of constant sinusitis, constant air pressure in here, getting sick all the time and having the worst allergies ever, I cut out all eggs and dairy, and in 1 weekend, this red plasma starts falling from my nose all weekend. And since then, almost 5 years ago, all that sinus pressures went away. I don't have all the allergies anymore. It all went away. My body for 2 decades was fighting this foreign substance from a cow. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize, that they're allergic to animal products. I say start with the dairy first, and then from there do the eggs, and then from there cut out the meat. Okay? Most men are not willing to do what I just said. But I say it's worth a shot, because this is my life. I know that my health has improved. And that's why I would never go back unless I was like trying to do euthanasia on myself. If they're like, hey Nick, you're at the end of your life, you're 85 years old, you've got no family left. And then I'm like, okay, well let's go through the drive-thru. I'm just gonna start like eating as much burgers and cheese. I might as well go out that way. I'll just go out that way. That's how I view meat, eggs, and dairy, and especially processed foods. It's how you die. It's like a slow suicide. So I want to do the opposite of that, so that I can remain healthy and aware and well throughout my life. That's my response. My response is get rid of that dairy. And of course, eggs and meat too, but start with the dairy. 0 tolerance. Not one little sip. Think of how disgusting that white substance is. Ew. And you're consuming it from another animal? Ew. And your body is fighting it off the best it can. It's fighting itself because your body's disgusted. Your body's like, I don't want, are you sure you want to? Ugh.